Hi, EDC Squirrel here, and these are 7 of my current favorite pocket knives that are under $50. The first one on this list is the Civivi Mini Praxis. This one comes with a 2.98-inch D2 steel blade with G10 handles. Unfortunately, the pocket clip is not ambidextrous, and it is a liner lock, but it's very quick deploying with a flipper tab, very ergonomic, nice and light. I love the feel of this knife. Drop point blade has excellent cutting capability, and this does everything I've needed to do. One of my favorite knives to carry. This one currently at the time of this video is under $30 on Amazon for $29.74. The next one on this list is the SOG Terminus XR. The SOG Terminus XR comes with a 2.9-inch D2 steel blade, has G10 handles, it is a crossbar lock, and has ambidextrous pocket clip. This also has 3 ways of deployment, where you have a rear flipper tab, you have thumb studs, and you can, of course, deploy it using the crossbar lock. In SOG's case, the crossbar lock is called their XR lock. This one is a workhorse. Another one of the knives I carry near regularly. This has handled everything that I've thrown at it. Nice, thick steel D2 steel blade. Holds an edge really well. I have yet to needed to sharpen this after a good amount of cardboard cutting. Has a little bit of weight to it, but I like the fact that it has multiple modes of deployment. And it's just been a faithful companion for quite a bit of time now. Like I said, this comes in under the $50 price limit at $48.13. The next one on this list is the Reiki P801 SF. This one comes with a 3.46-inch drop point 4C 28N steel blade, and the handle is made out of 420 stainless steel. This is a frame lock, and unfortunately, the pocket clip is not ambidextrous. Now, this one surprised me because of the cost. And at the time of this video on Amazon, the cost of this knife is just under $30 and showing currently $29.49. And why that surprises me so much is because this is a 14C 28N steel blade. Probably my favorite type of steel for a budget knife. And even then, I usually don't see it on knives until they generally over that $50 price point. So you're getting an excellent steel for a very, very low cost. The frame lock makes the lockup nice and sturdy. You have 2 modes of deployment, the rear flipper or the thumb studs, which my hands are a little slippery. There you go. And again, at the time of this video, can be had for under $30. Okay, the fourth one on this list, in no particular order, is the CJRB Acacia. This one has a 3.21-inch AR RPM9 steel blade, drop point. The AR RPM9 is CJRB's proprietary steel. It is a crossbar lock, and it does have a reversible pocket clip. You have a thumb hole for deployment, or the crossbar lock itself, and it has FRN scales which are a type of injection molded plastic, but that helps keep this knife particularly light. You do have full steel liners on the inside, which add to the strength of the handle, so you don't have any flex whatsoever. And this makes this a great knife at just under $30. I've heard a lot of praise on this knife. It happens to be apparently a crowd favorite for budget knife owners. And I've heard on more than one occasion people compare it to the much more expensive Benchmade bug out. Now, you don't have the steel, and maybe some of the components might be a bit better, not to mention made in the USA, but for $30, I can't really complain. Nice smooth action. The crossbar lock makes it nice and secure, very easy to carry, and very comfortable as well. Okay, the next knife on this list is also from CJRB, and this is the Pyrite. The Pyrite has a 3.11-inch drop steel blade, and that is an AR RPM 9 steel, just like the Acacia. It is a stainless steel handled knife, and you've got also a reversible pocket clip. It is a button lock, plunger type. So you have two modes of deployment. You have the thumb studs, or you can deploy from the button lock itself. And this is one shiny knife. Actually, surprisingly comfortable. A lot lighter than I expected it to be, especially with the stainless steel handles. My only con on this one is it's very easy to fingerprint. But otherwise, really well balanced, surprisingly ergonomic and comfortable in the hand. And I like the button lock in that you don't have to move your finger in the path of a moving blade when you want to close the blade. At the time of this video, this one can be had for just under $40 on Amazon. The next knife on this list comes in especially handy if you live in an area where your blade length is restricted for what you carry. This one is the Cold Steel Tough Light. Now this comes with a 2.5-inch AUS 8A steel blade in a sheep's foot profile. It does have a reversible pocket clip. However, it does carry point down and has Grivex, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Grivex handles, and also utilizes Cold Steel's awesome triad lock. Now, because of that, it's not exactly a single-handed operation to close a knife, but Cold Steel's triad lock is extremely secure and super strong, which is one reason they probably call this the Tough Light. This can handle pretty much anything I throw at it so far. It's a great utility blade, really ergonomic and comfortable to hold. It's surprisingly comfortable given the fact that it is a very small blade at 2.5 inches. The Grivex handle makes it nice and light. A decent amount of jimping on the back of the blade for fine cutting. It does have a thumb hole deployment. However, I think because of the Grivex, it's a little on the stiffer side to deploy, so it's not something that is really quick to flick out unless I guess you give it a good wrist flick. But I'm fine with that because that triad lock is amazingly strong. Not only that, but this makes a great pocket knife to carry in your jeans fifth pocket or watch pocket, that really tiny pocket that nobody really knows what to do with and usually just put coins in. But an awesomely strong, thick sheep's foot blade. I love this thing. This is another one of those knives that I carry quite often, usually in conjunction with another knife because it fits in that tiny pocket. Currently on Amazon is going for $33.83. Okay, the last knife on this list is the Gin Rhino. The Gin Rhino is a 2-inch 9CR18 MOV steel blade with G10 handles and also has a reversible pocket clip. You got 2 modes of deployment. You've got, well, technically 3 modes of deployment. You've got thumb studs, top flipper, or you can deploy with a button. You can kind of have a 4th mode, and that's if you remove the thumb studs, you got a really small thumb hole. Now, the reason why this is one of my favorite knives is not only is it inexpensive, this one comes in at just under $33, $32.99 or $32.99 on Amazon at the time of this video. But what makes it so special is this comes in a kit and you put the knife together yourself. So it was really cool to be able to get all the parts and even the tools needed to fit all of these parts together and make my own knife. The button lock is very secure. There's no blade play whatsoever. It's got a decent enough detent. The top flipper is very easy to utilize, and like I said, if you choose to not have the thumb studs and just keep the thumb hole, you can do that as well. The G10 handles are nice and comfortable. I can get a surprisingly full grip on such a small knife, and it's very comfortable in the hand. I can feel the pocket clip right behind my knuckles, but I don't imagine that having any problems unless I'm just literally cutting cardboard for hours. Really, really like this knife, especially because I was able to put it together myself. And it was such a fun little project. I think these would make great gifts for people that like to collect pocket knives. Just a fun blade. And here we have an honorable mention, and that is the Higonakami. The Higonakami comes with a 3-inch Murakami steel blade, at least in this particular model. They do have different size blades depending on the model. The handle is made out of brass and is about 4 inches long, making this about 7 inches total. And Murakami steel isn't necessarily a type of steel, but it's more of a forging process where they use a softer steel and a harder steel, and they have the harder steel sandwiched between the two, or sandwiched between 2 softer steels, which give you a really neat line near the edge of the blade. The harder steel gives you a very strong razor edge, and this is also a friction folder, meaning there's no locking mechanism on this one. It works entirely on the tightness of this pivot, which keeps it from just flailing around. And also during use, you place your thumb on the tab and that prevents it from closing on your hand while you're doing whatever you're doing with the knife. It is beautifully simple and amazingly inexpensive. Now, this particular one ran just under $30, but there are other models that can run as low as 15, and they can run as high as another one I've seen with a jade handle, which I really, really want, was just under 42 at the time of this video. But I call this beauty in simplicity and definitely gets an honorable mention. And that's it. Thank you for watching. And if you haven't yet, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, and you'll be notified of any new videos as they drop. Hope to see you in the next video. Bye.